What's up? I'm Trent Windsor, and we're here in search of the perfect shuffle. It's time for a segment of Cleaning Out the Archives, where I go and I shuffle my music, and whatever album it pops up, that's the album that I review song by song. The rule is that if a song is more than 50% skippable, I will delete it from my library, and if it is less than 50% skippable, I will keep it, and it is definitely worth checking out. Because this is the first time I'm doing this segment on this channel, I just chose an album to start out with. This is one of my favorite albums from when I was in high school. This album is called Deja Entendu, and it's by the band called Brand New. Brand New is a unique group that began their careers as a pop-punk band that hates this town but loves the Smiths. Nowadays, they probably fall more on the side of emo rock. And this album, Deja Entendu, is their second full-length album, and it finds them kind of in the middle of this transition. Does this blend hold up in the music? Let's see as I review this album song by song. The first song is called TWILL, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Heck, I could be pronouncing the name of the album wrong. I don't know. The first song is just an intro song. It doesn't really stand alone very well. I would say it's 90% skippable. I won't count it towards the album score just because it's an intro song. The second song is called, Sick Transit GLORIA, Glory Fades. This is the first of many songs on this album that fall under the pop-punk trope of song titles that are way too long and kind of cryptic. I don't know what the song title means. Doesn't mean anything to me. Doesn't have anything to do with the lyrics as far as I can tell. But that's what it's called. When I was in high school, this was one of my favorite songs on the album. It starts out with a great bass line and some edgy and moody lyrics. The subject matter is kind of dicey. It's about a boy who gets sexually assaulted. The thing about this song, it's got a great chorus. It's full of angst and energy. The chorus ends with him screaming, "Die young and save yourself." It really speaks to the angsty high schooler within me. It's a dynamic song. There's loud parts, there's soft parts. I think it does a really good job of creating a mood, a dark texture. But the subject matter is kind of uncomfortable, and just for that reason, I say this song is 25% skippable. The next song is called, these titles are so long. The next song is called I Will Play My Game Beneath the Spin Lights. Yeah, this one is super angsty. One of the lines that really stuck out to me in this song, he says, "Everyone who lives will someday die and die alone." The thing about angsty songs is that there's a really thin line between angst and just being really whiny. Unfortunately, I feel like this song falls more on the whiny side than on the angsty side. The instrumentals are generally good. It's kind of like an acoustic thing that transitions into an electric, hard-hitting instrumental. But the lyrics are super mopey and whiny. They're just sad that they're on tour. Touring is hard. Why are you a band, man? If you don't like touring, stop making albums. Obviously, they're fine with it because they kept making albums. Okay. The music itself is not bad, but the lyrics just kind of push it over the edge for me. This one is 55% skippable. The next song on this album is called Okay, I Believe You, But My Tommy Gun Don't. It starts out with this suspenseful guitar and like these dark, echoed vocals. Basically, the whole song is just a giant subtweet. I'm definitely here for the drama, for the angst, classic teenage stuff. It's really interesting to me because in one of the songs on their first album, there's this repeated mantra of this isn't high school, this isn't high school, this isn't high school, this isn't high school. But sometimes in this album, it feels like the drama is still in high school. In fact, in this song, one of the things he says is, every line is about who I don't want to write about anymore. But obviously he's just compelled to keep writing about this person he's upset with. The thing about this song is that it honestly goes super hard. There's a classic pop-punk chorus. You know, you got the harmonies and the brighter guitars. But the instrumentals themselves and the whole song kind of feels like a big crescendo. Especially starting with the bridge. It drops way down and then it crescendos into this big, shouted, "This is the reason you're alone. This is the rise and fall." And then it hits into the chorus. Really awesome. This is probably my favorite song on the album. I think this is where they do the best of blending their pop punk influences and their emo influences and making something that's really great and unique. I would say this one is 15% skippable. The next song is called The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows. It's a little bit more of a pure pop punk song. It's a little bit more sappy, especially around the bridge. The thing that really sticks out to me with this song, the chorus is like shouted, but the lines overlap each other. You keep it feeling, you keep it better the crowd, until we dropped out. The shouting makes it so I don't know what they're saying, but I will still try to sing along, and I will still try to overlap my own vocals. It sounds stupid to me too, and I still enjoy doing it. That's really the only part that really sticks out to me, though. The rest is a little bit more downplayed from the more dramatic songs on this album. Because of that, I'd say this song is 30% skippable. Next, we have a song called The Boy Who Blocked His Own Shot. It sounds like a pretty good description of me playing basketball.
It's time for an in-your-face disgrace!
It's actually an acoustic ballad. Usually I'm not a huge fan of acoustic ballads in pop punk, just because of the pop punk voice. You have to sing like this. You are mine, you are fine, you are nine. And if that's slowed down and tried to make sound emotional, it doesn't always translate correctly. But this song, actually, the singer does a good job of really toning down the pop punk voice, really just being genuine about it and not trying too hard, which I think is the hallmark of the pop punk voice, is just trying way too hard. There's some really great lyrics in this song, and they're accompanied by some really great pacing as well. There's a lot of times where the instruments drop out. There's a lot of points where there's just a pause of silence for a beat or two to really create a dramatic effect, a little bit of suspense. So the lyrics with the great pacing and the decent vocal delivery make this song 35% skippable. The next song on this album is called Jaws Theme Swimming. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this song because the verses are really boring. But then when you get to the chorus, it hits so hard with these thrashing guitars and this unrelenting drum part and these shouted vocals. It just makes you want to just go hard. Just go hard. Pretend you're playing a guitar. Just go hard. The chorus is so great. And then you just get dropped right back down on your face with another boring verse. But man, do I love the choruses in this song. And so for that reason alone, I'll say this song is 40% skippable. Definitely not the best song on the album, but I wouldn't get rid of it just because those choruses go so hard. The next song on this album is called Me versus Maradona versus Elvis, which sounds like some sort of bizarro Super Smash Brothers for like a very specific type of nerd. But this song is honestly boring, and the lyrics are pretty creepy. They're kind of about like the lead singer cheating, and it just kind of grosses me out, makes me cringe a little bit. I would say this one is 90% skippable. The next song on this album is called Guernica. Now, this wasn't a song that I was super aware of when I was a kid. Listening to it again now, it really has caught my attention. This is an incredibly dynamic song. There's loud parts, there's soft parts, there's sung vocals, there's screamed vocals. There's even some really subtle tempo changes that add to the dynamic and drastic effects of this song. The verses are kind of eerie. The chorus is like blistering. It goes really hard. The pre-chorus is kind of sentimental and sweet. And the bridge is entirely like screamed, like growled. It's very guttural. It's about how the singer's grandfather died while they were on tour, and it kind of is meant to bring in all of the emotions that he felt, and I think it does an amazing job of that. It's a very artistic song and definitely falls on the more emo side for this album. All things considered, though, this one is 20% skippable. Really solid song. The second to last song is called Good to Know That If I Ever Need Attention, All I Have to Do Is Die. I think you can tell from this terrible title that the song is going to be more whiny than angsty. It's slow, even the instrumental performances are boring, and the song is like 7 minutes. It's way too long. And then, after all of that, it ends with a fade out, which is just a lazy ending for a song. So this one is 70% skippable. The last song is called Play Crack the Sky. This song is another ballad, and it's like a big metaphor about boats. I don't really get it. It just goes on too long, and they are working too hard with the metaphor. I would say it's 90% skippable. And that's all the songs on this album. Overall, mathematically, not counting that first song because it's an intro, this album is 47% skippable. This is probably Brand New's best known album. There's some points in the album where I wish that the mixing was a little bit better, but overall, Brand New shows a lot of passion, a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, a lot of raw energy, and a lot of angst, which is perfect for the high school student and the emotional adult alike. Like I said, I've always loved this album, and I think it's one of Brand New's best. That's all I have for you today. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this album, about any of these songs, about Brand New in general. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. There will be a link in the description below to a couple of the highlights from this album, so you can go check those out yourself. And now time to find out which album I will be reviewing next. So we'll just go ahead and shuffle my music. Oh, alright. Looks like the next album I'll be reviewing is Aim and Ignite by Fun. Alright, so tune in next time for that review. I'm Trent Windsor, and this is The Perfect Shuffle. Just go hard.